Listen. Let's talk about this. Okay? Because I want to be clear here. We have a lot of people that suppress a lot of information, and we have a lot of people who continuously go with the flow. Have you ever seen a sports show? Undisputed, First Take, Sports Center, all of these debate shows, and they claim they do barbershop talk, right? That's what they claim. They claim they do barbershop talk. Now, if they do barbershop talk, what do we talk about the most at barbershops when it involves sports? The game being rigged. Oh, we've spoken about the game being rigged and the sports being rigged in general. That happens in barbershop talk, in sports talk, everywhere you go. It is universal. No matter what the sport, somebody's going to say they were cheating and they robbed and they cheated for so-and-so. So, on the television show, why is it in all of these debate shows you never hear about the sport being fixed from anybody in a debate? Not one. You don't find that unusual. If it's a debate show, that's something you should debate. You debate the same topics every day. You wouldn't think that would come up in the conversation at least once? Somebody will say, hey, you know what? I'm thinking someone right there. Sir, you talking about I didn't care last year when Golden State won. I knew Golden State was going to win, and what did I tell you when they won? When they won it, I told you what? What did I tell you when they won it? I remember I was in Florida when they were playing. But what did I tell you when they won it? I am watching the road. You just see my glasses, so you can't even see my glasses. When they won it, I told you that this was Steph Curry's last ride. You gotta beat Boston. You can't be a dynasty without beating Boston. You gotta beat Boston. Beating the Cleveland Cavaliers wasn't gonna mean anything in the record books. Hell, everybody beating on LeBron. PJ Williams, I don't know what damn TV show you've been watching, But you think LeBron James is running faster than the 20-year-old? You're out of your damn mind. The dinosaur is piggybacking. He's not playing defense. He's just poking around out there. You believe that? You actually typed that. I don't know who's more delusional. They've done a damn mind job on you, buddy. If you think LeBron is faster than a 20-year-old, he's being guarded by centers. They're not worried about his speed. Well, do I believe the game is rigged? Absolutely. 100% is rigged. You see, it's not the fact that it's rigged that's bothering everybody. It's the fact that, see, when you rig the game, there's a script. John Sally just told you there's a script. Everybody knows it's scripted, but they get so excited because it's the guy they like. So they just participate. The Detroit Pistons, why do you think I'm a fan of them? Because they weren't scripted. They broke the script. They wrote themselves into the story. That's why they're respected. They went from Dr. J handing it to Magic and Bird, and then Magic and Bird was supposed to hand that over to Michael Jordan. And Jordan's supposed to hand that over to Kobe Bryant. That was the way the order of the invisible baton of the league was being passed. Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons said, sorry. It ain't going to Michael. Not right now. Thank you. Detroit Pistons will be taking this baton. Thank you. How y'all feel about that? And it was on. Do I give the Lakers any credit? Yeah, I did. I gave Vanderbilt credit. Some of the defensive schemes by Darvin Ham was excellent. They knew a lot of the plays Golden State were going to run because they played them enough. Golden State have done a lot of different wrinkles. They were guarding Steph real hard on pick and rolls. Steph is older now. He's 32 or 34. And you know, I don't know the way he plays the game. He can still get 30, but, you know, the way he plays and the style he plays, he probably got 3-4 more years. He's not going to play till he's 50, like LeBron. So you only got a couple more years to enjoy Steph Curry. And what do? You fumble the bag. This is the problem people have with the league, ladies and gentlemen. This is the problem people have with the league. It's the inconsistency. The art of the magician is to make you believe the trick is real. You know it isn't real, but you just can't prove it. The eye is deceived, so you're satisfied. They don't care that the Lakers won fair and square. See, we seem to believe that they believe that it was all fair and square. They don't believe that. They're lying to you. They know that they're cheating. It's too blatant not to see. But they just don't care. But see, the thing is, this is about bad writing. This script is so poorly written, people don't understand why the concept is what it is, or even how, the why. They don't even care to notice. Listen. Let me tell you something. The point of it is this. The script writing is bad. I predicted this at the beginning of the year. The thumbnail we just showed you in the live stream yesterday, the battle for 18. This was the premise of the NBA Finals. And I told you, I said, wait a minute. They got this, I'm hearing all this talk about the 76ers. And this was at the beginning of the year from the NBA meeting when they were going over spaces for, NBA Finals. Like, did Philly, they stadium or whatever, the Spectrum, whatever it's called, like the capacity for an NBA Finals, and is it ready? And I'm like, why would they be doing that? Why would they be talking about the 76ers? They must be about to go somewhere. Let me put some dollars on them. But the script is bad. One reason is you got a commissioner who doesn't know how to be a commissioner. David Stern was judge, jury, and prosecutor. Him and Russ Granite. They didn't play games. What they said went, and what they told the press was one thing. What they did behind the scenes was a whole nother thing. They tell the press one thing, then they go behind the scene and get real gangster. They turn into a casino in the back. Robert De Niro, you see that chainsaw? Yeah, we really use it. Yeah, where's your hand? Smash, smash. Now you got to learn to play with your other hand. You don't play around up in here. And that's how David Stern is. This dude is so passive aggressive, he just let LeBron, whatever LeBron go. That sounds like a good idea, LeBron. Because he's all about the marketing, zero about the game. And that's the problem. You're messing up the game for marketing. And now you're marketing a tore down game. Now you're pushing a 38-year-old player. I'm going to tell you how you know it's rigged. It's because he can't sell it. He revealed himself every time he does an interview. He doesn't know how to not give up anything. He didn't gave up stuff in his interviews. I listened to when this prick was talking, and Adam Silver Slipper sat right there with a smile on his face and was like, this is the most competitive the league has ever been. Because he heard all of the complaints last year about no one cares about, it's only going to be 2 teams or 4 teams you're going to watch all year. Nobody else has a shot of winning a championship. Everybody you know who's going by the first or second month, you already know who's going to the finals. So everything else don't even matter. So after hearing this, they decided, let's try to mix it up. So now the low market teams were all at the top, and the high-priced, high-market teams are all near the bottom. The Los Angeles Lakers is in 14th, 13th place with less than a month to play in basketball. LeBron James gets hurt doing this run where they got to go on a miracle streak of winning games. LeBron James gets hurt. In this process, the other team had hit a game-winning shot. which wasn't supposed to happen. And it put them in a bad. So Austin Reaves starts shooting all of these free throws. The Lakers, AD, everybody is shooting 30-some free throws more than the opponent. It became ridiculous basketball to watch. Because, see, they changed the rules in order to help LeBron. They brought in the new transition rule. You can't foul somebody if they're in a position to start a fast break or transition. The NBA said, man, that's like 30 points right there we're missing out on. So this is going to increase scoring. Yes, it's going to increase scoring. Then this could help LeBron because he's a transition basketball player. So when LeBron's on a fast break, they can't stop the ball. This is going to help increase scoring. And it did. But now it makes it real harder for you to control the game. So now that it's harder for you to control the game, you got a big problem on your hands, sir. A massive problem. These younger teams, they can fly. They can run all day like a gazelle. So now you're going to have a big problem trying not to fix these games or put them in situations that other teams would deem to be unsupportably natural. Who could all forget Ayesha Curry's text? In 2016, the game Steph Curry got thrown out in. A lot of things happened within that game. As she said, rig the game for money. That was what was in that text. They rigged this game for money. I've seen it with my own eyes. She had to take that down immediately. Steph Curry got there, got wind of it. She had to delete that quick. Everyone saw it. It was pure corruption. You think it's an accident that the Boston Celtics and Lakers were involved in every finals in the 1980s? You think that was by the fact that they were just better? No, they got help. And this is what I'm talking about. Gilbert Arenas don't know what he's talking about. And in the league of where people don't know what they're talking about, just because they played in a league they think they know certain things, you don't know. You can't talk about the 80s because, shit, you was just a baby. You was a baby in the 80s. You don't know about what it was like in the 80s or when Mike was playing. When Mike was playing, boy, you was in diapers. When Mike's rookie year, Gil was walking around in a diaper. Now he's going to tell you what Michael Jordan did to the coach back when he came in the league, right? See, it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But he played in the NBA, so he would know, right? No, he don't. Old enough to know Isaiah Thomas is the greatest player to ever play the game. I didn't need Cameron and Mace to say he was the greatest point guard ever. Even though I appreciate that, he's the greatest player ever. Hit the like button, good people, because we're just getting started. Oh, the saboteurs, they've already come. It's called Win to the Saboteurs. Adam Silver wasn't supposed to be the commissioner of the NBA. He was just supposed to be in charge of marketing. We're going to get into that on the Patreon. And we're going to go to how he got the job. That's going to be on the Patreon. Adam Silver been in the NBA since 1992. A lot of y'all don't know that. He's all about charity foundations, marketing with the breast cancer awareness, NBA Cares, and all this, yeah. That's his contribution. He's never been a litigator. Never been tough on anything. He followed behind David Stern and shadowed him. But we'll get into that at another point. I just wanted to bring that up because it shadows what's been happening in the league since he's been here. He's got credit for things that was not his doing. Soon as he got the job, you had the Donald Sterling situation, like about a week or 2 weeks since he got on the job. So now he had to come down hard on Donald Sterling. But also, they had to find someone to buy the team. So Ballmer bought the team and paid billions. And why was the evaluation so high when the team was not worth that much money? Because they had to pay off the owners. You had to buy off Donald Sterling. Then you got to pay off, Sterling has to pay off his partner, which is his wife, who wasn't planning on selling the team. She was trying to cut him out, and he was just going to have it all by himself. She was going to have it all by herself. They were like, no, all of y'all got to go. So in order to do that, they had to pay a price that they didn't even want to pay to get rid of him. So that's why the evaluation was so high. And Ballmer came in and paid it, which made every other team in the NBA net worth increase, even though it's not, it's inflated. It's not the worth. It's inflated high. That's how they went to $1 billion evaluation. So it's like, man, you made us all this money, Adam Silver. No, he didn't. On paper, it looks like it. But the team isn't worth it. You know how many teams that are not really making money in the NBA? The Houston Rockets. You got them. Then you got the Detroit Pistons. They're not really making any money in the league like that. Atlanta Hawks are not making any money. They made the playoffs. That helps. But they weren't making any money. So a lot of teams in the NBA that are not making money. OKC makes money. The fans, that's all they got in the town. So the town supports the Thunder. They go to the Thunder games. Well, this is what happens, isn't it? Isn't this what happens? Isn't this what they do? The majority of the teams right now, I mean, how would you even guess if the sport is rigged when you had a referee who went to prison because of it? He went to prison because it was rigged. Why would you even question it? Then the NBA got him out of prison. And he said, hey, if y'all don't get me out of prison, I'm going to really start talking. They got him out of prison. They gave him authorization to film a movie about it. Gave him license to use teams' names. And then didn't promote it. So if he was just a lone wolf in this major organization, the things he already said told the truth. What he was doing, he was making money on the other side. But what he was actually doing was still the bidding of the organization. The games were going the way that the organization wanted to happen. He was just making his money on the side. He just had a side hustle. Everything was happening was under the design of the NBA. So that's why he was able to do it for so long. It wasn't making any big waves of attention as far as the NBA, because they seeing it like, I don't really see any the problems with his refereeing. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. But they start seeing, the FBI start seeing spikes in gambling, which was illegal. But a lot of people were winning, and hotels were losing money. And people were winning against spreads that they shouldn't have. And they were like, hey, wait a minute. This spread here is a little too much. What's going on here? But this is what I'm saying. It gets back to bad sports writing. Let me tell you about FIFA. FIFA is the most corrupt sport organization, period. Everybody knows it. So when the World Cup happened, and Messi, the World Cup happens every 4 years. For those who don't watch soccer or hockey, soccer, period, and all that. Listen, it's every 4 years for soccer when they have the big World Cup. That's why it means so much. And it's about people's countries. Messi has choked every time He's got every award there is, but he's never got the World Cup. They rigged the entire event to get him there back in, I say 2015. What was that? Like 2015 or 2016, right? It was either one of those years, 2015 or 2016. And they lose to Germany. They played Germany. I said they're not going to beat Germany. And Germany beat him, and that was probably his last run. He sticks around. Now he's a shell of himself. But yet and still, they know this is the last shot Messi is going to have at a World Cup, and they want him to win so bad. They rigged this whole event to make sure all the teams that could beat him were upset by all these lesser teams. Brazil out of there. Anybody that was going to beat Argentina was knocked out. And Messi won. It was clear that it was rigged. But they put him in there. He wins it. And as he wins, no one cares that it was rigged. They took my video down explaining it was rigged, blocked it, so I couldn't even fix it, edit it, or put it back out. That's how FIFA works. I sat there and watched them rig that, and when Messi won, everybody was so happy. Worldwide, it was all this big promotion. Messi finally did it. Then it goes to what we have here. LeBron gets the scoring record. He's this old dinosaur. We got one for the old Bronny. So here he is. We're going to drag this guy and try to make it. What a historical run. They were almost out the playoffs, but they fought their way back in. They put all the high market money teams near the bottom in both divisions to make it an upset where the Sixers are knocking off the third seed. All these teams have been whooping butt all season, but now when the playoff starts, these high market teams are just knocking out all of the low market teams. That's what's happening. So now the low market teams like the Grizzlies and all these other teams are getting knocked out of the playoffs because Sacramento Kings, another team that don't make a lot of money, and no matter how great they play, they're a small market team. They were about to sell the team numerous of times and leave the city. So now that's been knocked off. All of those teams are knocked out, right? So now you got all the high market teams left in the NBA. And it's like, oh, what a surprise. This is the most competitive this has ever been in the NBA. I mean, this year, I think we made some excitement this year with all of this. No, you haven't. All you've done is degenerated the game, Adam Silver Sliver. And what you did is take away the actual art of basketball to promote one player, and you think that's healthy for your league. See, here's the thing that you don't get. The reason why it works with Messi and it don't work here is because LeBron winning a championship, it's been done already. You know, this does nothing for your league. You think this generates a bunch of money for now? What's going to happen next year? You're going to stick the same dinosaur back into the NBA final when he clearly is, every year is just worse and worse and worse. And now we're going to just keep trying to ride this guy until the golden goose is no longer producing. What's that saying for your talent you got in the league now? They're going to get older. And you still trying to ride this dinosaur to the finish line. It's pathetic. It really is. And because you're riding an inferior basketball player and you're brainwashing people to try to believe that this guy is in contention with any other player that's ever played the game, you have destroyed history. you have destroyed any element of trying to compare the game. It can't be compared because you've changed so many rules in the game to weaken the game. This is what David Stern did not want to do. You make slight changes, but you don't make enough changes to where you ruin the game. He was a man who understood basketball. He knew the plays, X and O's. David Stern learned that because he's like, man, to be in this business, I got to know all of it. I got to know the plays. I got to know what guys are doing out on the court. And he can call it. He'll watch a game and can follow it and tell you what plays, what set they're running, everything. Very unusual for a commissioner. So he knew not to tamper with the game. That was from David Stern himself. He's like, I respect the game enough to know not to. He's like, I could, fix some of the things that's broken, or things that need to be fixed, tweak it a bit, but I can't ultimately destroy the game. I can't do that. Well, the flagrant foul rule was to help Michael Jordan get past the Pistons. They went into that year after the Detroit Pistons won the second championship and said, how do we get Michael Jordan to the NBA Finals? And he said, well, we need a special rule for fouls because it's not working to foul the Pistons out because they just got another guy that comes right in and he got 6 fouls on him. And he's going to use up his 6 fouls, and they just can't beat the Pistons. So they came up with the flagrant foul rule, and that would have beat the Pistons, they thought. So the first time we meet, we beat the Chicago Bulls by 24 points. Blew them out. First time we played them in the season, blew them out. This is with their new rule, their flagrant foul. They were no match. And this is the Bulls team that won the championship this year. We blew them out. They were not even competition. So if Isaiah Thomas doesn't get hurt, they're not winning that year. So I understand why Isaiah felt that way, but the league was going to make sure they were going to stop that. We knew everything they were going to run. They ran the same plays. Nothing was different. Of course, the refs are horrible, but you can't blame the refs. The refs are doing what they're told to do. It's just made harder for them to do it because now you're taking the control away from the referees and you're giving it all to the players. With all the transition because of fantasy. They got all the sports fantasy and sports betting is legal now. The league makes money off sports betting. So, of course, they want more scoring, individual scoring. This player has to get about 40 points, 41 points. You see Bronson get 41. The game that's already over, they make it go over. Dylan Brooks' stupid foul that didn't just cost me money. It cost millions of dollars lost when he ran up and fouled somebody with 0.3 seconds left. I think he fouled Austin Reeves. And he hit both free throws and cost everybody millions. So when the pandemic hit, you saw 4 months and the NBA was in the red. They didn't even have the money. They didn't have the money to sustain. They had to take out a loan immediately and bail out and pay teams because they weren't prepared. The league is not, they can't last a year. So they can't even afford a strike. If they have a strike, they're done. The league is done. If the league does a strike, it's all over. Believe that. If the league decide they want to go on strike, it's all over. They know that, so they're at the mercy of the players. They have no choice. None. They're at the mercy of the players. So LeBron them know they can do what they want to do. They want to come up with the All-Star game. LeBron got tired of losing consecutively to the West. They changed the All-Star game, ruined history of East versus West, altering records. Now, how do you compare East and West victories when they made a gumbo pot full of players and decided, well, we're just gonna make it Team LeBron. Always about him. Yeah. And then to top it all off, to make it worse, here's the scenario that makes it even worse, y'all. Y'all think I'm just doing this or saying this just to be saying it. It's definitely true. This is the part that makes it worse. With all of this being said, with all of these rules, they didn't make the game better. They made it all worse. Follow me. This is how they made the game worse. The All-Star game problem was never, the game has gotten boring, the people don't like it, we need to add more flair. That's not it. The people didn't watch it anymore because you weren't playing. You guys are just standing around on the court watching guys slam dunks. That's not what the people wanted. That's not what the people asked for. That was never, ever, ever in the cards. One of the main problems in the whole situation, period, was the fact that they thought like this, that they moved in this way. That was one of the main problems. The East and West used to play, it was competitive. You wanted to win. Plus, players would see guys they could play with and guys they couldn't. Kobe Bryant, this is why he knew he could play with Chris Paul, and him and Chris Paul would be great as a team. He was like, every year I played with Chris Paul, we never lost an All-Star game. Never. And he was like, Chris and him had a communication on the court. I believe Kobe and J. Kidd played, and they had very similar, rhythm on the court. But Chris Paul was always the better shooter. So going after him made more sense. So they made all these changes and they got all this excitement the first year and everything else. And they was like, man, we got to just keep adding new things to the All-Star game. No, they're doing what now? Standing around. They played for 1 year, then they went right back to the same thing. The guys just standing around. Nobody cares anymore. That's the problem here. And as long as you got nobody caring, you're going to be engulfed with problems left and right because no one cares. And as long as no one cares, everything is going to be just the way it was, laid out like before. Right. They did a slam dunk contest to try to show people the little white guy can dunk. They put him last in the dunk lineup because they already knew he was going to win. We already knew he was going to win. Like, everybody in the world, I'm like, if you got YouTube, you've already seen this guy dunk. You already know that this guy, we called him Lil Mac from Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Lil Mac can dunk. So we already know that. People don't watch the internet. They already knew this kid was going to dunk and put on a show. But for the main casuals, it was good to see. It's not bringing back the dunk contest because now the art of surprise is gone. This is the Spud Webb effect. Okay, now it was like, whoa, this Spud Webb guy can dunk and do all these things. So of course he's going to win. This guy's in the G League. They gave him a contract just so he could compete in the dunk contest. We got to go to gimmicks. They got Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry doing a drinking game during the All-Star weekend for relationships and couples that's going to be on HBO Max. It's a game show. Who cares? Like, that's not NBA basketball. Like, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the game. It's too many sideshow gimmicks instead of focusing on the game and the players. I swear, every day, everything they talk about is the Lakers. So that forces everybody else to have to talk about the Lakers. Because nobody else gonna know what the hell you're talking about if you mention anybody else. In the 80s and 90s, all the casuals knew the players. Every team. Your mother. Everybody, she knew Karl Malone. She knew Charles Barkley. She knew Patrick Ewing. She knew John Starks. They knew Isaiah and the Pistons. Every team, Dominique Wilkins, they knew it. They didn't even watch the games. They didn't even watch the games, but knew these players. They knew Magic. They knew Larry Bird. They knew these players. And they didn't even watch the game. And even right now, they would remember them. Why? Because of the way it was marketed. Each team had a star player, and that star player was highlighted. Okay? This is the way Adam Silver is ruining the league. Silver Slipper believes in order for a game to be good or to showcase said talent of another player on another team is to stick them up against LeBron and the Lakers. That's gonna be the marketing. Okay, so when they play the Lakers, that's the only time we get to see that team and that person. But if that team is playing another team, the game is a much better, we're not gonna market that. That's stupid. That's why we have the Knicks and Indiana Pacers rivalry. Because they knew, even though most of the people knew Reggie Miller and the Knicks, this was broadcast to us. We watched Alonzo Mourning go up against Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. We watched Shaq and Orlando Magic go against the Miami Heat. We saw those wars between the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns, and that rivalry, and the Utah Jazz is in there. This is how you get other people going back and forth. the Supersonics with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. We got to see those teams interact with each other and watch other games because they marketed the game. So when you market the game, superstars rise to the occasion. No one was talking about Reggie Miller. He wasn't even the leader of the team. Chuck Persons, the rifleman, was the leader of the team. They got rid of Chuck and said, we're going to build around Reggie. And Reggie did not become known until the playoff game against the Knicks. Not against the Chicago Bulls, the Knicks. That's when he started rising to prominence. They didn't say, well, Reggie, we got to put you up in here right next to him so that we can have this back and forth. That's the only way people are going to know it's you. It's not about errors. It's about stupidity and something being poorly done versus to something being done the right way. When you poorly do something, this is the way it looks. You have all this great talent in the league. They barely got any promotion. Why? Because they're a small market team. What was the Golden State Warriors? A small market team. Now they're $1 billion franchise. And they did it from the draft. The NBA did not promote them. They didn't build the Golden State Warriors into a powerhouse. They were wasting all their money and marketing on LeBron James. Oh, that was it. LeBron James was the marketing genius. They came out of nowhere. See, you didn't know where the money was going at that time. During that period in time, the Golden State Warriors weren't the team. No, it was the Houston Rockets. The Rockets were reborn. The NBA was promoting the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. That was it. The Golden State Warriors weren't even fourth in marketing. OKC Thunder, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Houston Rockets were getting all the promotion in 2015. The Golden State Warriors got nothing. And see, don't nobody realize that. The NBA had to shift their agenda because Steph Curry burnt down the entire NBA. But they know you're not going to remember this. Of course it's rigged, but you change, agendas change because players get hurt. The Clippers were supposed to go to an NBA Finals and beat the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Paul gets hurt in the first round of the playoffs. He breaks his hand and he's out. So that ruined it. And here comes Golden State. You go where your team and where the world is watching. Steph Curry was must-see TV, hitting all these threes from deep. Davis, who is this guy? Steph Curry, man, this guy's destroying the league. They're winning games. They're the hottest thing in the NBA. Everybody had to go see and get a ticket. They were beating teams so bad, Steph Curry broke a record for playing the most non-fourth quarters. He played 3 quarters because there was no need for Steph Curry to even play. When he won those 2 MVPs back-to-back, it was well-deserved. He took the NBA and put it on his head. The NBA was in the toilet. The marketing was terrible. They were losing money, hemorrhaging cash. Nobody was watching the NBA Finals. Steph Curry changed that. So he changed the league. That's why they put Steph Curry in 6 of the last 8 NBA Finals. Because he sells tickets. He made himself the face. The Warriors' style of play became mimicked by every team in the league. Because they said in order to win in this era, we got to play like the Warriors. We got to run and gun, catch and pop. We got to have guys on the team that could do that. These dudes, they were blowing teams out so bad, Steph sat down the third quarters and set a record for the most sat out fourth quarters in NBA history. They ain't gonna tell you that though. Steph Curry has done LeBron's career already. He's won 6. He's been to 6 out of the last 8 years. He's won 4 out of 6. LeBron has been to 9 and has only won 3. So, let that sink in. Steph didn't bounce from team to team. He stayed on the team that drafted him. He's got 4 rings for that organization. Turned that organization into a dynasty. LeBron didn't bring anything to Miami that Miami didn't already have. Miami won a championship already. So the only thing he had to do was win one for Cleveland. That's the only thing he can hang his hat on. The Miami stuff he couldn't. The Lakers, you ain't doing nothing for the Lakers unless you bringing in titles. And he wasn't doing any of it. They weren't not making the playoffs with him. Kobe was in the playoffs every year until he got hurt. Every year, Kobe was in the playoffs since a rookie. Sir, that's not an NBA championship. That is a tournament they had in a bubble 4 months later when guys didn't even want to be in it. No one counts it. There's no parade, no nothing. So now you're having a repeat of this bubble thing right here with Denver and the Lakers. And then Miami again, they finna play either Boston or the 76ers. It's like they're repeating the bubble. It didn't work the first time. Maybe the second time's a charm. The league had to put on that tournament in order to make some money. They had to take out a loan because they had lost so much money and was hemorrhaging cash. So let that sink in. Right? So now that everybody knows what's happening and everyone's seen it happen and everybody knows what's going on, this hurts your league. It runs it into the ground. Nobody's going to, because it's not believable. Okay? Everybody's seeing the differentials and free throws. They, again, shot 40 free throws in a game. One team shooting 40 free throws. They shot 20 free throws in the first half. And they can't say Golden State was just shooting threes all night, because the Golden State Warriors was going to the paint. They were having all their points in the paint. Points in the paint every game. But yet they weren't getting any calls. And this is the team that's been in the finals 6 out of 8 years. And you want me to sit there and believe that this is a regular game? No. I understand superstars are going to get calls. Okay, if superstars are not on the court, people are not going to watch the game, the casuals. They want to see their superstars on the court. So we understand that superstars are going to get away with a little bit of much. But what LeBron does is a crime. It's literally a crime. I mean, YSL can get a RICO charge and not the league? This is a RICO. The NBA makes money regardless. We just showed you and told you that that is so false. The league is not thriving. No matter what they keep lying to tell you. That's why they're trying to go international and put on the shows NBA Paris. They want the European dollar. They know here in America is dead. It does not care about the NBA like that. They know everybody here is bastardized with stupidity. And we just watch highlights. We just watch the highlights on YouTube. There, and like China is the #1 hub for the NBA. They watch the NBA more than us. And they have millions of people flocking to watch the games. They love basketball. They will play it for hours because they love the game. Why you think Marbury went over there? And now he was like, why would I come back to the NBA? Over here, they got a statue of me. Why would I come back to the NBA? Because Adam Silver was like, thank you. You've made the NBA such a great job. See, people don't even understand what he did. The NBA basically shunned him, embarrassed him, and basically cast him out, didn't try to hear him when he was talking. They didn't care nothing about this man. Then he goes to China and reinvent himself, and he became a hub of communication with the NBA and China. Then Yao Ming starts coming over. So easier transition now. All these players from China can come over. Jeremy Lin. All of this was because of Marbury. Stephon Marbury made it real easy and bridged all of these communications that were normally closed off. So Adam Silver told him, you can come back in the NBA. He told him that. When they was in China, he saw Stephon Marbury and said, you did a great job here. You can come back to the NBA. You can get on the Houston Rockets. That's like the dump site for all Chinese players. Is to just dump them all in China and dump them on the Houston Rockets. And he said, nope, don't want to come back to the NBA. I got a statue here of me, and they love me here. Why would I go back to the NBA where I was hated? The culture is different. They appreciate the game. They appreciate the people that play it. In America, the fans don't care. You miss a shot, they hate your guts. They hate your kids. They saying all kind of craziness. He don't want to go back to that life. Why would he want to go back to that? He said, look, for some extra money, nah, I'm good. Peace of mind was more richer than anything he ever had in life. So remember that. Don't forget my Cash App is Carceno. Karceno. We will tell you on the Patreon today. As soon as I get back from handling business, we're going to go into what happened and how Adam Silver got the job. Because he's not supposed to be the commissioner of the NBA. So I'm going to get out of here. Deuces.